Good morning, good afternoon if you're joining us from the East Coast. We will be getting underway here in just a moment. We'll wait for a couple more of our attendees to join, and we'll get started. Wonderful. Thank you once again for taking the time out of your day to join us for this webinar on Instagram. Once again, my name is Eduardo Silva here. Quick introduction on myself. Today we're going to be speaking about the do's and don'ts of Instagram dispensary marketing. And how to get likes, score leads, and grow your brand. And also today, we'll be covering the vital things you need to know to safeguard your account and reach more potential customers. As we get started here, once again, Eduardo Silva, I'm the VP of Sales here at Foot Traffic. I'm really, really happy that you decided to take some time out of your day to join us. If you are in the East Coast, good afternoon to you. If you're in the West Coast, good morning. And thank you for your time once again. We're certainly really happy to be sharing some more industry topics. And today's is probably one of the most popular ones we hear quite often of individuals wanting to learn more about. So let's keep moving along here. A quick background on Foot Traffic. We are a dispensary digital marketing firm out of the United States, but we cover all of North America. We've been in business for 5 years now, focusing solely in the cannabis space. This has been our domain since day one, 5 years ago when we kicked it off in Southern California during the medicinal dispensary movement there. And then later on through the recreational delivery, and now throughout all of North America as well as in Canada. So we're really, really happy to be part of the industry and being able to share some value adds as we continue to grow. Let's get ready for a webinar here today. So a couple housekeeping items. We will be moving through a lot of content that our team has worked tirelessly to put together. So do take a moment to grab your cell phones, either put it facing down so you have less distractions, turn off your Instagram account for a moment, and also maybe put it on Do Not Disturb. Finally, do familiarize yourself with the interface, okay? On Zoom. So we do have a Q&A function here. We did already have one question come across, so go ahead and feel free to ask any of these questions in the Q&A button. This is where our moderators and panelists will be able to answer those questions live, okay? And while you ask those questions, we will continue to move forward with the content here. So make sure you do stick around. We do have a deal here for whomever is attending today, which we will be sharing with you towards the end of the webinar. Why Instagram? Now, we all know what Instagram is by now, but it has quickly grown into one of the most popular social media platforms in the world. Its ability to connect people around the world with beautiful visuals and thoughtful captions has created a unique community. Instagram is a visual storytelling that sparks the imagination and allows brands to connect with customers in a different way. It's a great platform for brands, but it's also a great platform for individuals. And often these individuals like to share the things they are enjoying, including your products. And Instagram is one of the best discovery engines for cannabis dispensaries. It's top funnel, which means that it is the beginning of the impression with any client out there, and ideal for brand awareness only not for generating e-commerce sales, not to be confused with that, okay? So it is a brand awareness platform, and so we do need to create that distinction from day one. Now, let's talk a little bit about the dangers of Instagram. At the same time, many dispensaries have learned the hard way that there seems to be a double standard for dispensaries here. Having your account shut down or shadow banned is pretty common for dispensaries. Dispensaries can invest thousands and thousands of dollars building up their following and create content only to have it stripped away. If your account is shut down, you lose access to all of your followers. You don't own that information. The same way you own your customer database of email addresses and phone numbers, okay? Instagram owns that account and data. You can also lose your photos if you don't have them saved elsewhere. So do create a plan B here. It's really important. If you are shadow banned, which is a term that I just learned today, as a matter of fact, shadow ban is quite interesting because your Instagram account becomes less effective. You can continue to post, but your images won't show up under hashtags. So let's talk about how to avoid these dangers and safeguard your account so you can build brand awareness. Start with a bio, okay? Your bio is your introduction to the world. At the same time, because of Instagram's draconian view on cannabis, you can't be 100% upfront. You will want to create an Instagram or an interesting bio on Instagram that doesn't mention cannabis, marijuana, weed, or anything nicknames like Mary Jane, okay? You also want your bio to say that your content is only for 21 and up people, okay, or audience members. Something along the lines of San Francisco Dispensary giving you a behind-the-scenes look at our community and providing education, 21 plus only, should be fine. Just make sure to infuse anything you write with the brand voice, which is the next step. We're going to be talking about now tracking your stats, which is our number 2 recommendation here. If you're not sure what's working or if certain types of posts are better for your audience, you need to track your stats. How many likes are you getting? How many comments? Which posts are performing well for your different stats? Once you know what your customers want to engage with you, one second here. Looks like we just had a little bit of a glitch. One moment. All right, it looks like we're back. So number 2, track your stats. Once you know what your customers want to engage with you on, you can create more posts like that. If you don't track, you will end up posting blindly. This could slow your follower growth and just stall your engagement overall. If you convert your account to an Instagram business account, you will gain access to more data and analytics, but you will also put your account at risk. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along here. The other do, number 3, is take it off the platform. Convert your followers into email and SMS subscribers. Remember what I said earlier, you do not own this contact information of your followers. So it's important for you to actually create this B plan, right? Engage with them outside of IG. As I already mentioned, you don't own this follower information. So if your account gets shut down, you will lose the ability to stay in touch with them. To avoid this, make sure you regularly share your SMS opt-in phone number, such as text HERB to 611999, right, as an example, or encourage people to join your private SMS list or include call to actions to join your email list. This way, you will always have ways to market to them outside of IG. Now, number 4, engage with your followers. Social media, it's all about connecting. So don't just post and run. Make sure that you respond to comments and to create posts that makes people want to comment, right, and engage with them. Dial into what's happening in your area and in your industry. Ask for opinions. Ask for feedback. You can even just ask for silly weed jokes, right? The point is to get people talking and creating a conversation. And don't be selfish. Engage with your audience outside of your own Instagram profile and engage with your audience on their profiles. Consumers love to wake up in the morning and find that they have favorite local dispensaries commenting on their posts. It builds brand loyalty. It keeps you top of mind with your followers, and it's just overall great practice. Have you ever been on Instagram at 5 p.m. on a Sunday evening? Well, it's pretty dead if you have. So people are more active on Instagram at certain times. Find out what time it's best for your target audience, and make sure that you're posting on your profile during those times so that you will actually get your audience to see your posts. Otherwise, your engagement will suffer. And a pro tip here, so Instagram users are very active on the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights and after work during the week. So schedule your posts around the right times to get in front of your audience. Also, due to COVID, people are spending the most time online in history, and that means that more activity is actually taking place on Instagram. So more of your followers actually up there engaging, right? This is a golden opportunity to reach your audience as well as grow your following. So number 6, do use the story feature. There are some people that actually do some pushback here for some users when Instagram rolls this feature out, right? The stories features. It seemed like it was just going to be kind of a competition with Snapchat. It wasn't going to be actually growing as a practice, but people love them and they watch them all the time. If you want to get the attention of your audience, right, you can actually use these stories. And because they're actually on the top of the app when you launch it, it's a great way to get content in the front of your audience faster. And the great thing about stories is that it's informal and you get to show behind the scenes, maybe a look around your brand, the butt tenders at the front of the line, and really kind of speak with your audience on a more personal level. Post a few stories throughout the day for maximum visibility and have fun with it. And here's a pro tip for you. Reach 10,000 followers on your account, and you can actually enable the ability to launch the swipe up campaigns with a link to a third-party website. This can be a landing page for your customers to join their community by providing their email address and even a phone number outside of IG. So great way to use this. Moving right along here, hashtags. Some people love hashtags, some people hate them. And if you are a hater, it's time to get over it and start using it right away, because hashtags are a popular way to browse posts and build community. Your followers can even choose to follow hashtags now. So post using those hashtags and you will show up right on their feed as soon as they pop up into the app there. So if you're not sure where to get started, here's a couple ideas for you. First, you should have your own dispensary hashtag. That's kind of a given, which could be your name. And you should use industry and local hashtags so that you will actually show up for those individuals local. Check what your other dispensaries are using, check what your followers are using, and find the hashtags that are most in line with your brand, and just go to town. Really use these hashtags because you, once again, I can't stress enough, because hashtags can also be followed, right? So it's a great way to drive that engagement. Our 8th do here on this list of do's that we're sharing with you is consistency with your post. Getting a post up every day is hard and it takes a lot of time. That doesn't mean you should just power through these posts whenever you're able to get through them. If you don't post consistently or engage with your followers regularly, you won't get noticed. Know where you actually build any brand loyalty. People's attention span are so short now, and we all know this. If you don't create a consistent presence, your followers will just move on, and you will lose all of the brand equity you've been working so hard to create. To make sure you're consistent, create a plan and a post schedule. Create a theme. You should create a strategy by the quarter, maybe, an implementation plan by the month, week, or even down to the day. You don't necessarily have to post daily, but you should post several times per week. Number 9, be you. Yes, there are certain things you should and shouldn't post about, and we're going to talk about those in a moment. However, despite those don'ts, if you will, you should still be you. Use your brand voice and style. Are you snarky, funny, helpful, silly, informative? If you don't know, develop this persona. Dial into the tone you want to convey and make sure it aligns with your brand and your overall vision. Then make sure that everything you post aligns with that. Now let's talk about what you should do and not do, or excuse me, what you should not do on Instagram, because you just went over a list of do's, okay? So the first don't do, list prices. This should be sort of self-explanatory for those of you who have already tried to list your dispensary on Instagram. So if you want to keep your active account, don't list the prices, product availability, or information about upcoming sales. The whole issue with cannabis on Instagram is that it's still classified a Schedule I drug at the federal level. If Instagram thinks you are trying to sell cannabis, you are done. Don't post these things in the image or in the comments unless you want to lose your account. The Instagram community guidelines clearly state that the buying or selling of illegal prescription drugs, even if legal in your region, are not allowed. And this is a direct quote. Another one here for you, don't do number 2, okay? Don't link to your products, your menu, or a store locator. Just like you don't want to post prices, you don't want to link to a cannabis for sale link. Remember, Instagram is meant for brand awareness, not driving sales. The minute you start promoting the upcoming vendor day sale, you put yourself and also your account at risk. A follower can actually report you, and for good reason. Your post will be taken down, or even worse, your account will be shut down, and then you will lose all of your followers once again, right? You do not want to risk this. Unfortunately, that also means that not linking to your menu or your store locator, there is no direct e-commerce benefit here. But once again, we do have a strategy for you to actually engage with these individuals outside of IG to drive further sales, right, in your e-commerce. But yes, this is probably what people want to see when they do click on your bio, right, is go directly to your products, and perhaps the smart thing is to just not do this. Instead, you can link to educational pages like your blogs. You can even send followers to a landing page to become a part of your community by providing their email or phone number. This information is fine. Promotions are not. Don't just power through posting and just don't post whatever. Throwing pictures up without thinking about the implications is always a bad idea. Just remember that. And everything you post will reflect on your brand. Create a style that represents your brand well and is in line with your brand voice. Think about the styles of the images that you're posting, as well as words of your choice, okay, that do meet your persona. It's okay to be irreverent and use slang, but you just need to make sure that it aligns with your brand. For example, if you're a medical dispensary and you're using slang, it may not seem authentic. Don't post stock images. Instagram is a visual platform, as we discussed in the beginning. Because it's all about the imagery and the emotions they evoke, you need to create and post original work to really get noticed. Take pictures and make videos, and have your bud tenders do the same. You can do shorts at work and use images that your staff is willing to share that shows them doing things like hiking or which showcase beautiful spots in your community. This is always great use as well. I mentioned earlier that you shouldn't post pictures of products. Now, you probably know that there are plenty of accounts out there within the cannabis community that show pictures of different vape pens, edibles, and other products. There are also plenty of accounts that post close-ups of flowers. Now, do you realize that this is a gamble? Yes, you can do it. And again, without mentioning sales, availability, or pricing, but there is still a chance you will get shut down. If you want to be as safe as possible, don't post any product pictures is one of the recommendations here. If you don't mind living on the edge, however, a little, weigh how many people pick product pictures you want to feature and how you want to approach it. Make sure you aren't promoting anything. For example, if you just wrote a blog post about concentrates and you can show a close-up shot of a dab and mention in the caption that you have some helpful info on your blog, don't mention cannabis, don't mention consuming it, don't mention buying or selling it, and maybe this will actually be safe, right? I can't say it enough. This is the biggest issue that dispensaries have with Instagram. You can't overtly sell on this platform. Instagram is meant for brand awareness and loyalty, not for sales. No consumption, our last don't today. Don't post images of people using cannabis. This comes across as promoting the use of illegal substances. Now, we know that legally consuming cannabis is fine, but Instagram has chosen to follow federal law on this topic since he operates across the entire world platform, right? Save yourself the stress of having your account erased. Skip the picture of people enjoying a joint and packing a bong, okay? Once again, reference to community guidelines provided by Instagram if you want to go into a little bit more depth on this topic. Stay private is another potential option here. I want to address one more concern I've heard from dispensaries about their accounts. Should you keep your account private or make it public? If you want to control who sees your content, make your account private. This will lessen the chance of your account getting erased, but it will create more work for you, and it will likely reduce the number of followers you will get. It's also a good idea to look at every follower's profile to confirm they are 21 and older before approving them to view your private profile. You don't want an underage following your dispensary profile. This is really big. If you have a public account, you also have the option to have a business account. This can be a hit or miss on dispensaries because you don't want to seem like you're selling or promoting cannabis. You want to be careful with this. So you may not want to have the business account after all if you don't want to really play this risky maneuver. If you choose to have a business account in order to have access to the features like analytics or kind of some more advanced profile settings that it comes with, just make sure that you stay within the do's and don'ts so you keep your account safe and sound. Now, these do's and don'ts aren't a guarantee that you won't get shut down, but they should help you reduce your chances of having your account taken away. And I hope you guys have found this helpful. And, if you were seeking some insight as to how to really monetize and drive more e-commerce engagement, we did put a deal here for the attendees today, which is a free trial of Google Ads. Now, you may be thinking, what's the correlation between Instagram and Google Ads? Well, Google Ads just happens to be a way that you can engage probably the same audience, but just in a different platform that really makes up 93% of all internet search traffic across North America, right? And you can do this in a very localized manner. And Foot Traffic has actually been doing this compliantly for the last 5 years. So if you have been dancing around with the option of potentially leveraging Google Ads or doing some advanced advertisement to really drive up your e-commerce presence, this could be your chance, right? Just get started. Test the waters, no obligation here, and we can get you set up fairly quickly. So we're going to turn over to Q&A now. If you want to navigate to the section here on the Zoom panel. So if you go to the top there, Q&A, share any questions you have on the topic. We would be certainly happy to address these now. One question that already came across was, will we be actually providing this recording available after the webinar? And yes, absolutely. We'll be available on our website. So do navigate to foottraffic.co/webinars, and we'll be happy to share that information with you. And we do have some questions coming across here. Do you get notified when you have been shadow banned? A new word that I discovered today, shadow banned. And the answer is, unfortunately, no, you do not get notified. And this is really terrible, right? Once again, if you do not want to risk any of this, this is why we provided a lot of this do and don't information, right? Because ultimately you're investing a lot of time, energy, as well as money, right, into driving engagement. And if you do that, and you get shadow banned and your posts are not really making its impact, that could really hamper your capability of being impactful there, right? So once again, you will not get notified. See here. And also do keep in mind that if you get shadow banned, another point here, your analytics, comments, and likes will be drastically reduced. So you won't be getting access to that. Looks like we have yet one other one here. How would you know if you get shadow banned? That is a great question. Let me check in here. Believe we do have some best practices around that. Give me 1 second, and we can also answer that question for you offline too, to save time. That is a great question. And the answer is, you will not get notified. You will probably hear from either one of your followers, perhaps even one of your team members that follows your profile. That's probably going to be the best way, where you're going to actually post something and somebody probably in your team who's following you will be able to inform you how little visibility they received and or no notification whatsoever that that post was even placed on your account. So that's usually how that works, unfortunately. Other questions? Great question so far. One more question here, and on Google Ads, can you track analytics on Google Ads? And absolutely yes. I will say that one of the greatest things about Google Ads is that you see real-time results, okay? And the beautiful thing about Google Ads is that, one, you can link the ads directly to your menu. That's what we do for our clients. And in addition to that, you know, it's real-time results, right? And it appears when your clients are actually searching on Google for relevant terminology and keywords, right? So that's really, really important. So you're getting in front of individuals, you're getting the top of their results when they are most active and interested in buying your product. Great question there. So full analytics capability. We'll share more information with you if you'd like to find out more offline. And once again, I want to thank everybody. Great questions, great participation from the audience here. So just to recap, we will be posting this on foottraffic.co/webinars if you would like to recap it. And if you would like to get in touch with us, we will post a link here now on how to get in touch with us. And, you know, happy to take any questions offline as well, provide you some insight as to some of the other marketing tips that we may be able to share with you in order to improve your presence online, engagement with your audience. But I want to thank you again for taking the time out of your day, out of your afternoon, if you're in the East Coast, to join us. Have a wonderful day, and thank you again.